Welcome to my video blog. My name is Keith Felch, and I'm here at my home studio, 3 Cat Night Studio. And I am going to play some audio for you that'd be best if you download it. So reference my site, keithfelch.com, and you'll be able to download these 48K 24-bit files, and you'll be able to have it at a higher resolution. You could put it into your DAW or your digital audio workstation, compare the files if you'd like to, and have a good time just listening to some of the differences between in the box and out of the box recordings. The differences are fine, and so listen very carefully and you will hear the differences between mixing in the box or using this rack of equipment that you see here, and we'll be using one piece at a time and adding as we go. First of all, we're going to start with our in the box recording, and this is from my record Mirrored Response, and if you'll allow me to do a shameless plug, available on iTunes. And on this record, we've got some rhythm section and some horns. Listen to this 20-second clip, and this is an in-the-box mix using the Apogee Symphony and just Pro Tools. Next, you'll be hearing where we go out of the box with 12 stereo outputs, 24 inputs into the Burl B32 Vancouver summing mixer. And the first thing that you'll hear is the Apogee Symphony out into the Burl, and that's this mix without any extra switches added on, which we'll cover in just a minute. Maybe you notice a little bit punchier sound, a little bit crisper perhaps. Next thing you'll hear is by adding the B5 transformer on the Burl B32, you'll notice that it might get just a little bit crisper response, and this is that transformer adds a little bit of color to the mix. Next, we'll be adding the 6 dB boost on the Burl B32, and then you'll hear this summing mixer with, again, 12 stereo inputs into it, and basically doing what's splitting the outputs out of Pro Tools. And so you'll hear it running through those transformers. Now let's go to a little different mix here, and we're going to be using up here the Burl B2 Bomber ADC, and what you'll be listening to now is the Symphony, same thing, into the Burl B32 Vancouver, and we'll be using the BX5 and the +6 dB settings on this one. And then we'll be going into a different analog to digital converter, the B2 Bomber analog to digital converter. The next 20-second clip that you'll hear, same clip we're using, of course, over and over, is testing the Fern compressor, tube compressor, called the VT7. It's by Doug Fern, DW Fern, and these are handmade compressor, and it's got you might notice that the drums get a little more punch, and we're not adding any EQ to any of this. So if it takes on a new color, it's just by adding a little bit of compression, and I'm adding 1 or 2 dB, 2 dB at the most, of compression to this in a tube compressor. Next, let's go over to the Manley gear here, and we'll be using the Stereo Vari-Mu. And this will be, again, the B32 into the Vari-Mu, and then into the B2 analog to digital converter. And let's put it all together now. We'll have the Apogee Symphony into our summing mixer, and that will be going next into the Fern tube compressor, into the Vari-Mu tube compressor, and into the B2 Bomber for our final mix. Now, what you'll notice is that these subtle different colors can be used to take your mix out of the box from just purely mixing in your computer, and add a level of polish that sounds a little more professional and a little more high-end, so that if you bring your mixes here to 3 Cat Night Studio, then you can take that in the box mix or that stereo mix and run it through some of these transformers and tube equipment for something that sounds a little more special and a little more high-end. Thanks for watching my video blog at keithfelch.com, and please come back and visit for more video blogs and information that I hope will be fun for you. Thanks a lot.